Dr. Bush, as we come into the end of the session, I could go on and on. It's people listening to this are saying, "What? Peter is listening?" I mean, I'm usually the one who's talking, but I just want to keep on listening. And unfortunately for this session, clearly, I mean, firstly, let me say, as we conclude, you're welcome. You're welcome to Africa. You're welcome. We feel your energy. We feel your love. We feel your passion. We feel your purpose. And this is just the beginning. And as I said, we are not going to hold on to this interview until 12 months from now. We're going to set it out. People are waiting to listen to Dr. Zach Bush. And you know, it hits the mind, but most importantly, it hits and enters the heart. We are crying out as part of nature to love nature, because right now there's been a fight. Humans want to sterilize themselves. They want to sanitize against COVID-19. COVID-19, as you said, is a virus. It doesn't live without us. It has, I mean, we are putting on masks. We don't have time to go into that issue. But as we conclude, do you want to say a few key remarks on a few take-home messages? Because this is just, if you allow me to say this, the beginning of our journey together. We want to hold your hand. We want you to hold our hand. We do this, and Africa has hope. It's a continent of hope because we are still traditional. We see small-scale farms. We don't have large monocultures with GMOs. We're going to appeal to our policymakers to let us be, to live like our grandmothers and grandfathers and live the way they lived, because they lived in tandem with nature. And guess what? They lived longer and happier lives. You know, they took in the sunshine, they ate the right foods, the pumpkin seed, they had enough zinc, enough vitamin D. They would have easily lived harmoniously with COVID-19. And maybe another session when we discuss, you give us more details about your perspectives towards how to deal with COVID-19. I don't think we have enough time, but as you make your closing remarks, you could also mention a thing or two on how you think Africa should deal with preventive measures towards COVID-19, because this is the reality we're living in. And you may want to, the next 3-4 minutes before we finish, of course, having profusely thanking you, because if the video finishes before we do, I'd like for you to have the last word, Dr. Bush. But really, absolutely grateful for your time. And definitely, we're going to engage you again. I can feel that jumping up.
Yes.
Over to you, Dr. Bush.
Yes, we will. This is the beginning of a long conversation.
Yes,
I'm sure, so
yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much
100%.
for the opportunity, and thank you for the opportunity to meet all of your audience. And it's just a real honor again to be part of your new mission to bring forth a new Congress of food health and safety. Public safety is beautiful mission that you have, and I'm honored to be part of that. And we'll look forward to bringing a lot more resources to you all as we're looking at forming an independent science community around the world that works to create data of public health and safety, so that we aren't listening to the WHO and the CDC. We have to stop listening to these organizations that have been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry, and we need to know the data ourselves.
Right.
You all in Africa need to know your own data on HIV and AIDS. It's not the common story. There is a different story in the science. The math and the science is telling a different story, and you need to know it. And so I'm working to fund a new independent science council for the world. We're looking at us actually placing that in Africa. Right. And so I'd be interested in speaking to you further about that, but we're looking at Morocco perhaps being a location because it sits at an interesting place with the Middle East and Europe and all of that. But we would like for that whole area of North Africa and the Mediterranean to become an epicenter for new information in science and new technology, for understanding our relationship to the microbiome, our relationship to nature, to become resilient as an epicenter for health to start to emerge. Right. The United States is too far down this pathway. We are going to be devastated by chronic disease. We will be so much sicker than Africa. We already are. But over the next 10 years, you won't even believe how sick we get as a country. So you all need to step up for us and start to lead the world in this area of not just food, but also public health. Right. How do you all start to really pattern that out? And I honor you for that opportunity that you have to step into that role. I think that in regards to management of COVID-19, it's very simple. If you, the highest risk that you have in Africa right now is actually inside the home. Inside the home, there's a lot of people still heating their homes and cooking over kerosene.
Mm-hmm.
For those families that are still cooking in those poor environments that don't have access to clean cooking and clean heating,
Mm-hmm.
they have very high risk of the carbon particulate in the air that's going to cause the mortality with COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And so if there is kerosene in the home, make sure the cooking is done outside. Make sure that you change the heating from kerosene inside to something else.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the highest single risk that Africa has is the kerosene and other dirty fuels inside the home. So you need the air to be very clean. So think about that in regards to your patients and your colleagues and your homes. How do you create the cleanest environment of the air? Second of all, high exposure to sun, being outside rather than hiding away inside. The United States did exactly the wrong thing. We all went inside of our houses. China went inside their houses. We need to get actually outside, breathe the cleanest air with the biggest biodiversity we can, and be in the sunshine all the time. If your vitamin D level is above 30,
I think we are running out of time. Yes, you noticed that. You didn't remind me. I think it hits, it's at 29.
30, your chance of dying from COVID is almost on your skin. So being outside, being engaged with nature, you will become so resilient. You mentioned the incredible power of pumpkin seeds.
Yes.
Such a powerful tool for increasing the amount of zinc available. And viruses will never get out of control in production if there's enough zinc around because of the way they interact with the surface of the T cells.
Absolutely.
Other foods, if you're on the ocean side, oysters are extremely high in zinc.
Right.
And so, look to your sea vegetables for massive amounts of iodine to support, detox pathways and the like. So sea vegetables, kelp, the like, oysters, if you're on the coast. If you're inland, then certainly the seeds, not just sunflower seeds, but also things like hemp seeds.
Right.
Many of the nuts, what we call the Brazil nut, I'm not sure what you would refer to that nut as, but many of the nuts have massive amounts of manganese and other critical nutrients for that immune support against the virus becoming an unbalanced situation with you. Remember, the virus is not bad. The virus is actually a small amount of genetic information. Mm-hmm. Nobody in the United States has died from the virus. We die of our comorbid chronic diseases that can't handle the update of this little virus. Mm-hmm. The virus is creating an unstable response in a body that's already lost all of its normal coping mechanisms. Right. And so it's cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, and end-stage kidney disease. Those are the people that are dying, not patients with virus, the people with chronic disease. The virus is a transient thing. It only lasts for 3 days in the bloodstream. Mm-hmm. It's gone before anybody dies. It's not the virus that's killing us. It's actually our reaction to it because of our damaged immune systems, our damaged inflammation management systems. And so we need to very much be clear that nobody's dying from COVID. We are dying from the poisons of our environment, the poison of the air, the poison of the soils, and the chronic diseases between those two things. And so you have an opportunity to escape all of that by clean air, clean soil, real food, and outside living, as much sunshine as possible. Get that vitamin D level high. Be engaged with your mother nature. Be engaged with humanity. There's a nice study in the United States showing that people who get more than 7 hugs a day have a 35% less likelihood of getting any viral illness.
Absolutely.
7 hugs a day. Don't hide from your fellow humans. Love your fellow humans. If we lose our humanity, it doesn't matter if we're healthy. If we lose our humanity, if we lose human touch, if we lose connection of community, we will die spiritually, if not physically.
Absolutely. Amazing. Dr. Bush, I want to continue, but I am constrained by time to have to say, this is just an appetizer. I mean, welcome to Africa. I mean, Africa is home. So we want to welcome you home because, as you very well know, we all came from here. All humanity began from Africa, and so let's take this opportunity to say welcome home.
Thank you.
You're one of us.
Dr.
We
Mokaya.
feel the energy, we feel the love, we feel the karma, and thank you so much for your time to busy schedule. I can feel it. It jumps out. There is a clear, deep, very deep connection, not just organic, not just agroecological, but a deep human sense of love, care, passion, and purpose that links the two of us. Thank you so very, very much on behalf of Organic Consumers Alliance and the Non-Communicable Disease Alliance and all my friends and colleagues. in Swahili we say asante sana, which means thank you very much. I could go on and on and say something more, but our time is kind of up, and I wish to respect that. But absolutely empowering and eye-opening sharing. But as I said again, so please, I mean, I'm saying it live on this communication, we're going to look you up again before 24th of August next year.
Wonderful.
So Dr. Bush, with those few remarks, we want to say, asante sana. You could say the last words.
Thank you so deeply. Thank you all for your sense of purpose. Thank you for paying attention to the world. Thank you for your opportunity to be a part of our future solution. I would like to see healthy grandchildren one day, and it will only happen through a global effort to clean up the world that we have created. And we need this to happen today. And it will be my greatest joy to come and visit in person, Dr. Mokaya, and the whole team that you have at your first Congress there. I look forward to being part of your future events. I look forward to being engaged as often as possible to get the message out there that you are the leadership, you are the future of the world, and I can't wait to support that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too. Enjoy your holiday, or so you're doing in Hawaii.
Thank you.
Thank you.